I think we're ready to get going here, Coach. Would you like to open or you want to go to questions?
No, I certainly will. I thought obviously disappointed with the result. I thought after a tough week, a week of COVID and guys in, guys out, adjusted practice schedules, lots of distractions. I couldn't be more pleased with the effort, but certainly not the result. And I thought we had our opportunities to win the football game in the end. Our inability to really kind of protect the quarterback certainly will show up as one of the main stats. I did have the chance to take the lead there in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately missed the field goal. They answered it and didn't go our way. So with that, I'll see what questions you guys have.
Let's go ahead and go to Nick Carboni, and then we'll go to Jonathan Alexander.
Matt, I think Sam had about 5 yards per attempt. Was that more because of the protection, or did you think there were a few shots you guys could have had down the field, a few more?
Yeah, I think we struggled in protection, knowing that these guys, they're as good a rush team as, as you saw them against Brady a couple weeks ago. Obviously, some guys were out for them last week. But our whole game plan was to run the football, try to control it, move the ball down the field, keep the game close, win the game in the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, obviously a lot of throws at the end that are incomplete because of the situation that we're in, and weren't able to protect them. I thought Sam, even that last interception, we called a hook and lateral, just trying to get back and have a chance. They're a really good defense. We knew that coming in. Thought Sam made plays, some aggressive plays at times. That was kind of us knowing who they are and how good they are on defense.
Yeah, Matt, you said you wanted to see what you had in Sam in this game. What, despite, how the offensive line played, what were you able to take away from what Sam was able to do, the good and the bad?
I'll have to watch the tape to see. Thought we did a good job on some third down conversions. I think you were sick, at least the corner of this, that we were 6 of 14 at one point. Obviously we limited our penalties coming here. I think according to this, we only had one penalty. Sam was 17 of 26. But again, for us to truly see whether it's Sam or Cam or anybody else, truly see what somebody could do, we have to just have a little more consistency up front. There's too many sacks that we took. And then as a result, the sack fumble that led to points kind of changes the way that you want to call the game. You're having to be very, very careful on third down because, I think our defense was playing really good defense. At the end of the day, they didn't score a touchdown to that last drive. They held them to field goals. There were a ton of short fields. At least from where I stood, I was really proud of our defensive effort today. And more importantly, I was really proud of our special teams effort from the guys that were covering, getting doubled out there. Harris is as good a returner as there is. And I thought those guys, they did a good job because we played too much on our side of the field, especially in the third quarter.
Let's go ahead and go to Joe Person, followed by Darren Gant.
Matt, you mentioned the protection. There were a couple of times, pretty big plays where you looked like you guys turned guys loose. The sack fumble that you referenced, and then on the 22 blitz on the final series. Just from the sideline, any idea?
Yeah. The one was the max protection. So Ian's got the first one. Amir has the second one. Ian took one. Amir went to the second one. Who's right, who's wrong, I can't say. But we ended up just going right past that. That blitzer just two guys because I think they blitzed Joe and crossed, and we just didn't execute it, didn't pick it up. On the last one, we're just hot. The ball's has to get out of the quarterback's hand. He's working the boundary. It's 2 minutes. There's no chance to repoint those. So they brought a ton of pressure today. That's really what people are doing, is just bringing in a bunch of pressure. I thought the third down call that led to the field goal, we knew we had to be inside the 32 to kick a field goal. They brought, two guys off the edge. Sam did a great job, side adjusted it, got it to Robbie. Robbie's like half a block away from maybe scoring. Unfortunately, we missed the field goal. So, but that was those two plays. From the field level, I haven't obviously seen the tape.
Matt, you had C.J. Henderson, Justin Burris out there in uniform, but apparently not doing a lot. Were they able to play? And how much of what you were able to do defensively was kind of dictated by the numbers of guys?
Obviously this week having some guys go down with COVID and then come back. And so some guys like, JB, who's had a bad groin, he was available, but we played the other guys and had him up as an emergency. CJ went out before the game. He warmed up, he ran around, his knees still bothering him. But, He was available as an emergency guy. So we had those guys in case we need them. I thought it looked like Rashawn Melvin showed up a couple of times really nicely in the run game. Unfortunately, we gave up the one big pass down the sideline, from our own 3-yard line on 3rd and 13, before the half that led to points for them. So I thought there were some good things in the back end, but probably gave up too many yards passing at times. But yeah, that's why those guys were out. They just, they're not 100% healthy, but we just don't have the numbers right now to not have them up as emergency guys.
Will Kunkel and then David Newton, please.
You guys had 5 straight drives where you had, I guess, 16 total plays, 2 yards at a point offensive. What do you see on the sidelines during those moments, and what is there to possibly do to kind of snap out of it?
Yeah, just not really winning up front, in the run game, and then going to have to go to the protection game and not really being able to protect, to be quite honest. I mean, just, we knew coming in the defense that they have, the front that they had, I think early on we were able to keep them off balance a little bit. That last drive, we were able to mix it up and keep them off balance a little bit. But in the end, their front, won the game for them with, us with a chance to go win it. Weren't able to get them blocked. So, kind of the same, sort of the same story we've had at times when we haven't played well offensively. It's kind of just that up front, just not being able to quite win in the run game, in the pass game, at the level that you need to win a game like this.
And then just real quick to follow up on that, when that does happen, defense is playing well. How much pressure does that add to the defense to have to keep it up?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what the defense wants, though. The defense is basically what they're saying. The defensive coaches and players are saying, run the ball, run the clock, punt the ball down. Let's not turn the ball over. It is what it is. We wish we could score 40 points against these guys, but not many people do. Like, the defense was great today. Our guys on defense kept saying, hey, we're going to have to get a turnover. We're going to have to take the ball away. We came into the game knowing, to beat these guys, we're going to have to take the ball away. So it's just, trying to play complementary football. Obviously, playing defense when you have a big day offensively, you can really let it rip. I think we did a great job, for a defense that struggled in the red zone during the year. We held them to field goals until that very last one. I thought today was a big step defensively for us. But yeah, I mean, it makes it hard. At the same time, if you're in that situation, you try to play to the defense and, just not do something that, that gives them a short field like we did on the one.
Hey, Matt, you kind of answered a little bit, but just how much of this season offensively has been a fail because of the offensive line not being able to protect and block?
You guys know me. I'm not going to make some, I'm going to struggle not to make like a big, but I just think, when you have, when you have 11 different offensive line combinations, when you have, guys have, you have guys getting elevated from the practice squad, when you have guys changing positions, all those different things, you're not going to have the unity that you want. You're not going to have the cohesiveness that you want. So, we've talked about it, you guys have asked me about it. We've talked about it since the very beginning. We've had runs where we've been able to protect the quarterback and be consistent. But I don't care who you are when you play quarterback. If you don't have a run game or you don't have a pretty nice protection game, it's going to be difficult. I thought when Sam had protection, I thought he was able to complete balls and made some nice throws. But this is a really good defense that we faced. We knew that they were going to put us under duress.
And what changed as far as that duress when you went from Sam starting 9 for 9 to from then on?
In terms of, I think really, we had some runs early, Dave. I think it says here we finished with 28 yards rushing. I never know what the ham is, right? But in the first half, I don't know how many yards we had rushing, but we were able to keep them off balance, right? So it was like a run, then a naked, then a run, then converted some third downs on a bubble on a slant. As the run game started to bog down a little bit, as they started to take away the run game, forces you into more of a drop back mode. And we tried hard not to do that. We had the one fumble, which we tried to, protect the defense. And unfortunately, just that last, we had a chance to kick the field goal to take the lead, missed it, and then they were able to go down and score and kind of change the game. So, but I think it's all complementary. It's the running game keeping them off balance, because when you're struggling to run it, they can really kind of line up and come after you.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have for Coach. So thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks.